It's Wendy, and I am here with another Fodder School video for Fodder School 2. It's the second half, it's our YouTube hop, and I'm here to talk to you today about what we made in Fodder School in the second half, so that in case you're interested, or maybe you're working your way through Fodder School 2 right now as you're watching this video, and you're curious about what we made, and here I am. This is the results from my Fodder School 2, the second half. So the second half of Fodder School 2 starts in April of every year, and this April our teacher was Dory Patrick. I believe her Instagram is Patrick Dory or Patrick.Dory, and we made incredible mixed media art, mixed media wall art on canvases, floral art, abstract floral. There's no way that on this camera I am going to capture how big this is, how wonderful this is. Oh, here, look. You can take your device and you can put it sideways and you can see how wonderful this is. This is one of my favorite pieces of art I have ever created, and I did it thanks to Dory and thanks to her Fodder School 2 lessons. So I actually ended up creating 4 unique canvases. I'm not going to show you all 4 because one of them just wasn't my favorite. So hey, I don't have to feature it because guess what? This is my YouTube video. But these three are astounding. I have them all displayed in my home. In fact, somebody was approaching me saying, "Can I buy one of those from you?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe. I don't know." And I just decided, you know what? I'm keeping them. I love them so much. They are not for sale. And if I was going to sell them, I would have to contact Dory and say, "Hey, Dory, what do you think? Is it okay if I sell the art that I created in Fodder School with your lessons?" And she may say yes, and she may say no. But at this point, since I'm not considering selling them, I don't even have to ask Dory. So that was April. Okay, in May, dun, 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 dun. In May, our teacher was Tiffany Sharp. Her Instagram account is @TiffanySimplySharp. She also has a YouTube channel. Oh, that was my Alexa. Okay, so in her month, we created these decorated boxes. And oh my gosh, was this so much fun, because how did we decorate these boxes? Let's find out. We made our very own handmade, hand-decorated washi tapes. And we did these in a wide variety of ways. I have all sorts of interesting, completely one-of-a-kind washi tapes that I've created with my colors, my patterns, the things that I love, the marks that I love to make, the textures that I love. And I've got a whole entire box of these, essentially, all wrapped up and safely ready to use in this box. And the box itself is gorgeous, and we use the washi's to cover the box. And in addition to that, Tiffany taught us how to create a closure for the box, which I want to show this to you because it's so cool. Oh, I can't get it to make the snap noise. Anyway, okay, it's not snapping, or it's not making the snap noise. It is snapping, but I just want to tell you, I never could have done this without Tiffany. There's no way, and I just think it's so satisfying to open and close this box, and I love the box. So, okay, in addition to making a box and all of that great washi tape, we did a beautiful postcard exchange, and we exchanged postcards with our friends in Fodder School from all over the world. Every year in Fodder School, we host one major exchange, and it's just so fun to receive these cards and to send them out. And yeah, this year we did postcards. These are all unique and gorgeous, and I love them, each and every one of them. And I keep them, and sometimes I just look through them, and it's fun. And I keep them in my box from May of Fodder School 2. Next up, we have our June project. This is June of Fodder School 2, and our teacher in June was Elaine. And you can find Elaine definitely on Instagram. Elaine is a wonderful, wonderful artist. The books that we made in June for Fodder School with Elaine, and oh my gosh, are these absolutely gorgeous. They feel gorgeous. They look gorgeous. The structure of the book is called a Blizzard book, and in each one of these little pockets is a gorgeous handmade card that has space to put a thought or a quote. And so, of course, I can never make just one because the projects are so phenomenal and the process of making them is so phenomenal. And the way that I feel when I'm making the projects is so phenomenal that once I make one, I'm usually just raring to go and I want to make more. And I think you can see that in all of my Fodder School YouTube hops, that I don't just make one of a project. I'm oftentimes moving on to another month with a lot of unfinished second, third, fourth, fifth attempts at a Fodder School project because I'm having so much fun making it that I just don't want to stop. So I'm not going to show you every card from here, but oh my gosh, this book is just absolutely phenomenally gorgeous. And I love writing my thoughts and my quotes on all of my mixed media art. That's definitely a highlight of making mixed media art for me, is that I can really think a lot about life and record just favorite quotes that I find within my art. So let's see. I can't even remember how far I got with these. Oh, I know how far I got. I wanted to use some fodder from other months in Fodder School on the cards. I wanted to do them a little bit differently because I do have quite a bit, obviously, of unused fodder. So, oh my gosh, did I have fun with this. I took favorite pieces of fodder and I layered it onto cards, and I put on a piece of fussy cut leaf fodder that we made in Karen's month. So Karen taught us how to make these really complex leaf fodder, you know, this fussy cut fodder that had many layers to it. And then I had fun pairing each piece of fodder up with an older piece of collage fodder from another month and creating these mixed media cards. And each one is like a luscious design in and of itself. And I can go back at any time and do things like this. I can add quotes. So here was a quote: "Great companies are created by people willing to make great sacrifices." So I heard that on a podcast called the All In Podcast, episode 132. And I didn't want to forget it. I wanted to come across that quote. So I've got space here. I should keep these like right on my desk because when things come in that I want to remember, I like to put them onto art. I don't like to just put them somewhere else. I like them on art. So, oh boy, I love this book. I haven't opened it in a couple months, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I really, really love this, and I want to keep working in it. So I even went so far as to create a third book because I had enough materials that I had created. And I created another book for June with Elaine, and very similar, just more collage fodder with another leaf. And I've got even more spaces to write things. Oh, this is such a pretty one. Couldn't you just see a nice quote on here? Then I can just do some journaling on the back. So basically they're like journaling cards. And each one is so gorgeous. I love the colors and the textures and the patterns so much. And this was just fodder sitting in my fodder collection, unused. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to pair that with a new piece of fussy cut fodder and make these journaling cards. And it reminds me of all the past months in Fodder School. I believe I made that collage fodder in a month from Fodder School 1 with Roxanne Paget. And it's just like a walk down memory lane for me. Yeah, I just love these. This is from another course that I have on my website called Messy Papers. And everything coordinates so beautifully because I always stick with my color palette. I don't really make anything outside of that color palette. And then I get to use everything from all of my months of Fodder School and all of the courses that I do, all the other teachers' courses in Fodder School. It all just is available and it coordinates and it looks beautiful together. If I stick with a color palette, that's the unifying thing. I don't have to worry about it. Like I can have a million different textures, a million different patterns, a million different kinds of fodder, but they all just look beautiful together. So, okay, that was June. Okay, here we are. Now we are at July of Fodder School 2. And at this point, we are working with Megan Quinlan. Her Instagram account is at Megan Quinlan Studio. And we made this phenomenal book. I cannot speak highly enough about this book that we created. There is a YouTube video, there is an Instagram video just with a full flip through of this book that I created from her lessons. This was all inspired by Megan. I would never, ever in a million years have thought up these incredible creative things to do. And after I finished the book, I started putting in collage fodder from Fodder School 1. Here's more Fodder School 1 collage fodder. This is collage fodder from a lesson with Jennifer Wilkin-Pennick from the Fodder Challenge 2023, which you can purchase now as part of Fodder School 3. But it's like I've got lots more places to add stuff. I just love how easy it is to finish art journal pages when you have an incredible stash of amazing collage fodder, whether it's painted pages or fussy cut, or in this case, it was a paper doll that I had made with Megan Quinlan in her course, The Comprehensive Paper Doll. And it just looked so beautiful here in this book. So I've got a great book to start out with. It has interesting things going on. And then I get to go in and add collage fodder and add the lettering that I love to do. This collage fodder was from a lesson in Fodder School 2 from Liz Constable of Book Art Studios, and it just looked so good on this painted paper. So I'm not going to show you every page in this whole book, but I've got lots more places I can work. I've just fallen in love with this book. It's definitely one of my favorite books that I've ever created. It is the most ripe for just adding fussy collage fodder and the lettering, which is what I totally love to do. Here's another paper doll. So it's just like, you gotta have everything going all at once. You've gotta have these interesting books that you create, which start with interesting collage fodder. And then you've gotta have more collage fodder to add to the pages to create finished art journals. And the process of it, it's like a cycle that never ends. It just goes around and around and around. Having these little medals, these paper medals that we made with Jennifer Wilkin-Pennick, just are so adorable. And again, the limited palette, it works. It just makes everything really easy. So yeah, I can continue to have a lot of fun in this journal for years. For years. This was a painting that I just did afterwards. I had a blank side of a piece of paper and I was able to just come in and paint. Another thing I added to this, this is so gorgeous. Okay, another thing I added was these tags that we made in the Fodder Challenge 2023, which, like I said, you can purchase that now if you want. If you want to purchase Fodder School 3, you'll get all of the lessons from the Fodder Challenge that we had this past July. And it's just, I've got a bowl of these that sit in my art studio, and I can add these things to my books. And I know that I'll be adding these things to future projects, and they're available to me. I don't have to start from scratch. I have a lot of stuff just here and available to me now. So, okay, so that was July. August. Oh boy, was August another epic month. Okay, in August, our teacher in Fodder School 2 was Ricky Midbrod. And with Ricky, we made her signature scrappy tags, which, oh my gosh, I mean, you see how much I love making these things. It's like once I start, I don't want to stop, and then I make so many that I don't finish and I have to move on to the next month. But I've got so many that are finished, and I've got, again, more that they're finished, but they need a little bit more finishing work. I can always just add a little piece of fabric to the end, but I just absolutely think they're gorgeous. They're in my favorite colors. Oh my gosh, how cute is this? All right, so we made the scrappy tags. We also made clusters, and as part of making the clusters, we were making these shape pieces, and I fell in love with them so hard that I was like, I just want to have a bowl full of these hearts with these little sayings on them. And I ended up using one of these yesterday in one of my new journals, and I was so happy. I was like, this is why I have these things. This is why I collect these bowls, and I have them in my art studio just for this kind of thing. So I can keep these things just in my studio around me, easy to access. Then in August, with Ricky Midbrod, and her Instagram is Ricky Tiki Tavi, and I think there's underscores, like Ricky _ Tiki _ Tavi _ we made a book called A Scrappy Journal, and in the Scrappy Journal, I ended up using all of the clusters that I made with her. So again, just how this comes together, where I'm using collage fodder from different months. This is from Liz Constable's lessons, and just, I don't think I would be able to be such a prolific maker or such an interesting maker if I wasn't doing the cycle of collage fodder, the cycle of Fodder School. I absolutely love this book. Here's a kindness card that I had left over from Fodder School 1 with Tracy Wozniak, More Than Marmalade. Here's another one. And it's just, I cannot get over that I am capable of making interesting art like this. I just can't get over it. The pages are unique. The pages are interesting. Adding the clusters. Oh my gosh. I made gorgeous, gorgeous clusters with Ricky, and I was able to add pretty much every single one of the clusters to the book, and they just coordinated so perfectly. I mean, even if it's just putting a cluster in a pocket, it's just in a pocket. I don't know. I absolutely love this book. Yeah, here's another cluster. I put some scrappy tags in the pocket. This book is just so adorable. It just does not get any cuter than this. This is an art foamy designed by Megan Quinlan. Here's one of the shapes we made in August. Here's another cluster. At any point, this is also designed by Megan Quinlan. It's an art foamy. At any point, I can just pick up this book and continue working in it. I have places to add quotes. I have places to add more collage fodder, and I'll just keep building and building and building for months to come. Then we have our last Fodder School 2 teacher and our last Fodder School 2 experience, and that was with Julie Hamilton. Now, Julie, I would say, more falls into the category of being a fine artist, in the sense that her work has the look of someone who is creating art for a gallery. And I was so excited to try my hand at creating art in the style of Julie Hamilton that I could not stop. So I actually created 18 of these collages on cradled wood board. I think that's what it's called, cradled wood panel. I created 18 of these. I'm not going to show you all 18 unless I can find a video, which I might be able to just splice in here. But I've created 18 of these, and I fully intend on creating 8 more because I think they're fabulous, and I want to keep challenging myself with this type of art. I find that it's really satisfying to create. It's really beautiful to look at. And I basically have all of these gifts that I could give people. So I could turn them into sets of 4. You know, I've got 18 of them now, but I'll have 8 more. I can spend some time looking at them and seeing how do I want to turn them into sets and give them away as gifts. Again, if I wanted to sell them, I would approach Julie and I would say, hey, Julie, how do you feel about me selling the art that we created in your Fodder School course? Because I don't want to do something like that unless I have permission. But yeah, I think that these are stunning. I was intending on putting a huge installation of these on one wall in my house. And I decided that it's too busy. It doesn't look great together. So if I can create some more panels that are less busy and then pull it together so that it creates something that I would be happy to look at every day, I might install a lot of these on my walls, but the jury is still out. I'm still working with the process and getting my feel for it. And I mean, I love every single one individually, and I love this. This is just individually a beautiful work of art. But I wanted to have like this big dramatic installation, and I'm not there yet. I'm not ready for that. So anyway, I'm having a ton of fun still working with this. And that's it. That's my Fodder School 2 second half YouTube hop. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to join Fodder School 2, all of those 12 lessons, you can see my hop from the first half of the year. All of these lessons are still available for you to purchase on the Willow Workshops platform on Teachable. You can go to willowwanders.com and you can find all of the amazing classes, the mixed media art, the collage art. You can find all of those classes. And I hope that you enjoyed my hop video, and I hope that one day you decide to join us either in Fodder School or in an individual class, because I've got a lot of just amazing things for you at willowwanders.com. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.